Hey guys, welcome. So today is the day that we are going to get started. And a lot of the stuff you see when we release new courses and concepts and things like that, it takes months to do the testing. It takes multiple people, and it takes a lot of homework, a lot of testing, a lot of computer analysis, and a lot of other stuff to pair strategies with the right money management. There's so much going on behind the scenes. So when we finally get to the starting gates for something new that we've been working on to release, it's a relief, but it's so exciting for us to finally show you what we have known and what we've been working on, and kind of pull the curtains back for you to see. So early next week, we are going to be releasing our next digital course. As you see on the screen, it's called AI Bubble Craps Blueprint. Now, we're going to get into more detail as to what is this package. Obviously, it is a game-centric module for bubble craps and craps. All the systems in here are for craps and bubble craps, either way. So this is a game-centric situation. There's no roulette, there's no baccarat. And let me tell you something, what you're going to hear in the next few days is incredible. The systems, the amount of stuff we packed into this, and more importantly, is the strategy and the system performance. Each one of them is worth its weight in gold. I mean, just incredible. So we're going to go over more of the individual aspects of this digital strategic strategy pack in the next video. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to start slowly. And I want to acknowledge the fact that I know that many of you that watch this channel are roulette players and baccarat players. And I've been doing a lot of crap stuff over the last year, and some of you have finally joined us and acknowledging and understanding the power of this game as an income generation source, okay, as an asset class. That if you're here in the casino and you're taking this to the next level, that you're doing this for more than entertainment purposes, that if you're walking in and not using craps as one of your asset classes, you are missing out dramatically. Okay, I've said it before, I can only bring the horse to water, right? Some of you are nervous. Some of you are not sure you understand the game. Some of you are nervous about walking up to the full traditional table, and I understand that. So we're going to be doing videos over the next few days that are completely focused on getting you ready for AI Bubble Craps Blueprint coming out either Monday or Tuesday next week. I want everybody on this channel, I want every student that is enrolled for free at casinoincomeacademy.com. I want all of our alumni that have never really looked at craps, because you're baccarat or roulette players, to over the next few days be able to take a deep breath and say, you know what, that makes sense. I'm not nervous about playing this game. Not only should you not be nervous, it is probably easier than everything you could imagine. Because once you understand the core concepts behind craps, whether it's bubble craps, roll to win table, or traditional tables, this is not a difficult game. I think people freak out when they look at the felt and they see all the different bets. Well, the majority of those bets are garbage lottery ticket bets, and if you pulled them off the table, it would look so much easier. And we don't use most of those bets anyway. So over the next few days, I am going to bring you up to snuff. We are going to do a Bubble Craps boot camp over the next couple of days, and we're going to take everybody, craps veterans as well as people that have never stepped over to a bubble craps machine in their life, and get you ready for what is about to happen Monday or Tuesday, the release of this blueprint course that is phenomenal. All right, so this is where it all starts. I want to talk to you about the difference in this video. We're not going to talk about bets. We're not going to talk about strategies. We're not going to talk about money management. We're just going to put our foot in the water, and we're going to talk about the difference between craps and these other games that you guys are familiar with. All right? So let's get over here, and let's go over here. And we're at our friend over at ChatGPT. And this is going to give you a basic overview from a performance and a math point of view, as well as a comfort level point of view of craps versus other casino games. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about what everybody loves to talk about, house edge. Right? You know what our belief is in house edge. People make a lot more over the house edge than they should, okay? It's important to acknowledge the house edge, specifically on the game as well as the bets that we're making, but people make it out to be something that can never be overcome, and the house edge is the house edge, but yet they have no problem with house edge in every other area of their life. When it comes to options trading and stock trading and the Forex market and crypto and everything else, they don't seem to want to talk about house edge. So it's all BS. So let's get right into it. House edge, the pass line and an odds bet are can drop as low as 1% when you use odds. So basically what they're telling you here is that there are certain bets on the casino table that you can actually have some of the lowest house edges, right, compared to other games. Now, we don't use the pass line and the odds bet. We use other ways of manipulating the odds and putting things in our favor. And we'll talk about that more on the rest of the bootcamp videos that are coming over the next few days. But the point that ChatGPT is making is that there are huge house edge in some of these other games. And in craps, there are lower house edges if you know how to manipulate your bets and use a bets effectively. So that's a positive right off the bat. We know that American roulette, it's 5.26, very high, right? Very, very high. And that's why it's very difficult to come up with strategies for roulette that are not incredibly volatile. Okay, we do that, but it takes a lot of work. And then your favorite, a lot of people's favorite on this channel, Baccarat. Baccarat's edge is not bad, right? It's about 1.06 or 1.24 for the player. Not bad at all. The problem with Baccarat, and we're not going to get into it on this video, is the manipulation that's happening with the physical deck of cards, with the decks of cards and the shuffle master. So in my personal opinion, you can throw this right out the window, because what's happening in that game is manipulation beyond belief, okay? And then you've got blackjack, right? So even if you're playing with a perfect strategy, the house edge is about 0.5. But if you don't play perfectly, it soars through the roof with blackjack, all right? I will also tell you that the volatility in blackjack can be severe, okay? And we'll talk more about that later. So craps gives us the ability to manipulate using probability, timed bets, as well as combinations of bets and the proper money management, very low house edge, very low house edge. And we'll get into that more later. So let's keep going. Now, this is a big one for me. One of the reasons that bubble craps and craps has always been one of my favorite games, no matter what my attention span has been dragged over to other games, is because it has always had the best flexibility with betting options. So there's a wide range of play styles, And they accommodate the people like me that are looking to be conservative and make a paycheck, but they also accommodate people that want to take more risk. And that's why there's so many bets on the craps table, because you can take those lottery ticket bets if that's what you want to be, and you can play them. And you can even create strategies around those higher volatility bets. Or you can do what we do, and we can create systems and strategies like we have an AI bubble craps blueprints that you're going to see Monday or Tuesday that are low volatility, that you can build your bankroll and you can continue to make paychecks with. It's an evergreen systems. All right. So the only reason we can do that is because those bets are available to us on the craps layout. Okay. Combinations. There's lots of things we can do. It doesn't mean that it's complicated and that we're rolling them all into one strategy. Some of the strategies in AI Bubble Craps Blueprint are very simple to play, but incredibly effective. Incredibly effective. And we can only do that because of the amount of bets available and the combinations that allow us to create different playing styles and then match them up with money management. All right, this one's not as important for you guys, but maybe it is for some. Social energy and atmosphere. So what we're talking about now is a live craps table, not online craps and not even bubble craps. We're talking about the traditional craps tables that you will find in every casino around the country. They're fun, they're energetic, everybody's crowded around the table. There's a lot of energy and it's a lot of fun when people start throwing the dice. And that's what attracted me to this game initially, is that I never saw this before anywhere else. There is nothing like a craps table that heats up, where somebody holds on to the dice for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and is throwing numbers. It is the most exciting place to be, whether you're on a cruise ship or Vegas or Biloxi or anywhere else. So we don't base our strategies on anything like that. We base them on performance and math and making money. But isn't it fun to know that you can make money and play a game if you're standing at a traditional table and have so much fun at the same time? Remember, I've always said to people in any business, you are so much happier when whatever business you're in creates joy and you enjoy doing what you're doing for work. And I can certainly tell you that when I am quote unquote working at the casino table, I am loving every minute of it. All right. And it's very different than blackjack or baccarat, which a lot of times you get some creepy people at those tables, which are always angry, always bitter. I don't know why. They're always angry at the casino. Nobody's forcing them to sit at those tables, but they're just miserable. And then they play terribly. They don't understand the proper strategies. They have no strategy and no money management. So they give back their money. They're miserable sitting there, and the atmosphere is horrendous. So that's what happens. That doesn't always happen at roulette. Sometimes roulette tables are just as much fun as craps. So it depends on where you're at and what you're doing. But roulette can be a fun game as well. All right. No skill required for good odds. So what our buddy here, ChatGPT, is telling us is that unlike blackjack, which requires memorization of the basic strategy to be able to get those low house edge, craps lets you play the best bets without any strategy charts. And that's interesting because I never really thought of it that way. So if you're sitting at a blackjack table, you either have to memorize exactly what to do in every card situation, right? Or you have to have one of those cheat sheets to be able to tell you. Well, if you make the appropriate bets and you understand the strategy, it's the bets that are giving you the best probability and odds, not the fact that you have to make some crazy decision in the middle of the game to get those odds in your favor. So that's a really interesting one, I have to tell you. Now, it's also much simpler than blackjack to play, but still offers way better odds than roulette or keno. Now, we certainly don't play keno, that's for sure, but we do play roulette. And that is exactly the case. So we love roulette, but what you're getting out of putting a bit of your focus for your business on craps or bubble craps is incredibly easy. You put in the time, you learn the strategies, you test the strategies, you understand the concept, you understand the money management, you've simulated it enough that you know how to play it properly, and you automatically get the benefit of those odds and probabilities. So that's the other benefit. You don't have to be Mr. Super skill-oriented person to play these strategies and make regular paychecks from craps. All right, control over exposure. What are they talking about here? Well, this is a little more in the weeds. So what they're saying is because of the come-out roll and the point cycle, craps has a built-in pacing. Fewer results per hour than roulette or baccarat. Now, I've told this to people many, many times, okay? And it's something that maybe they don't get right away if they're new to the game. When you guys play blackjack or baccarat or roulette, you're getting so many more results an hour than we get at craps. The pacing is a little bit calmer, okay? It's a little more laid back because of the way the craps game is played. We don't get a result automatically with every throw of the dice. If we're betting, let's say, on the don't pass line, and we'll explain all this in another video, and it's a come out roll and somebody throws a 6, we don't win or lose. It's just that they can't make that 6 again before making the 7, right? They have to make the 7 for us to win before making that 6 again. There may be 6 more rolls. There may be 10 more rolls. There may be 15 or 20 more rolls before that bet result occurs. So it's a very different pacing. It's a much calmer environment from that point of view. Obviously, craps is an exciting game, but the pacing of the game, believe it or not, is very, very different than what you're doing in roulette or baccarat. So it's something we have to discuss and we'll talk about later in other videos, okay? All right, true odds. Okay, this is a big one. The odds bet. Not every bet, but the odds bet in craps is one of the only wagers in the casino that has 0% house edge. It's actually paid at the true odds. See, when you hit a number on the roulette wheel, you're not really getting paid the odds, right? There's 38 numbers on an American wheel, but you're getting paid 35 to 1 when you hit the number. So it's just, there's all kinds of examples of that in the casino where they're screwing around with what they're paying you, and the odds are a certain thing, but you're not even getting paid proper payouts. Even when you take those lottery ticket odds like you do when you play directly on a number in roulette, you're not even getting paid the right odds. And this happens at lots and lots of games. It's not just roulette that I'm picking on. But in craps, that one bet, the odds bet, does pay proper odds, okay? And that comes into play when we use some of our dark side strategies. We don't do a lot of odds bets and pass line bets with most of our strategies, but we do use odds bets in a few things, and it does make a major impact. All right, let's keep going. A variety for advanced players. This is huge. This is huge. The craps allows for systematic money management approaches. We can marry our strategies at bubble craps and craps with multiple different styles of money management and regression strategies, pressing strategies, all off and on, one hit, two hit, ladders, all kinds of things. Our faction 3, our faction 5. We have come up with so many creative ways of handling money management, as you know, on this channel, and longtime students and alumni for us over at Casino Income Academy. You know, we believe that 85% of you making paychecks long term comes from money management. And craps is one of the best places to be able to do that. Now, I do want to tell you that sometimes it requires a lot more work on our part because we have multiple bets being made sometimes in our systems. It's not a single bet like in Baccarat, okay? Or sometimes in roulette when we're playing, let's say, just one of the even money bets like red or black, or 1 dozen or something like that, or 2 streets or whatever. It's a lot more complicated sometimes with craps to test the different money management concepts because we're handling sometimes bets that pay differently. And it requires a lot more testing and simulation. But the power of having the ability to allow for these different systematic money management approaches is what makes this unstoppable as a business model, as a paycheck generator. It's incredible. And way more options than some of the other things that we have to deal with, right? Like in Baccarat, where we only have 2 bets that can be made, basically, player or banker. We are extremely limited to what we can do. And we are not limited in craps. All right. Entertainment value. Well, I've already told you guys. You can roll the dice yourself if you're at a physical table, or you can focus completely on your strategy and your money management. You never have to throw the dice if you don't want that pressure and you feel that you can't focus. You can just pass the dice and let somebody else play. But the excitement and hype of playing live craps is getting that dice and throwing the dice yourself. And that is a lot of fun. And for a lot of new players, they don't want to do that because they want to focus on the strategy and the concept. And I totally believe in that. Once you know that you can handle the focus of throwing the dice and making the appropriate bets, removing your bets, coming down on bets, lowering bets, pressing bets, once you have the system down, then let's have fun if you're at a live table. Now, if you're at bubble craps, you hit the button and the dice jump up and down. So you are making the dice jump up and down. So it's a lot of fun. There's no doubt. Blackjack, well, I'll just be honest with you. For me, blackjack was always one of the most boring games I've ever played. Okay? I understand blackjack is a favorite in the United States. I understand people love blackjack. More power to you. It just was never a big game on my personal, list of priorities. Roulette, that's all we do is make our bets. We don't spin the wheel. We don't touch the ball. We don't do anything. So it's a very different feeling. All right. So let's wrap this thing up. And basically, this chart here is showing you some of the house edge and comparing the house edge again. One of the other things in here is skill needed. Well, minimal skill needed in craps. What does that mean? It simply means that you need to know where to place your bets. They are not taking into account here strategies and money management and everything that we teach to get you to be a positive EV, player, making those paychecks. But the skill required is not the skill of looking at a strategy chart or doing anything physical or anything like that. That's what they're talking about here. The pace of the game, as we said, is a medium pace in terms of getting results. It's not super fast. It's not lightning fast, okay? And it's certainly not Pai Gow, which is super slow, right? High energy, lots of fun, social atmosphere, variety of bets, which is the bigger thing, is that there's a huge variety of bets that we can put into our engine and create these amazing strategies and concepts to make money with, all right? So that's what craps is. So The bottom line is craps stands out because it has incredible odds if you're taking advantage of them properly, true odds betting with certain bets, a variety of different play styles, conservative, aggressive approaches, and based on the bets that are on the table, we can manipulate and do combinations of things that end up from our casino lab giving us the maximum ability to be able to manipulate what's happening, understanding the odds, using money management, and creating income streams. That's all we care about here, is making an income. We're not looking at this as a lottery ticket. We're looking at craps as an asset class, as a way to pull out money every day from the casino. It could be 3 sessions a day, 1 session a day, 5 sessions a day, 3 days a week, 5 days a week, or only when you're on your cruise or when you're on a vacation. It doesn't matter. Our systems and strategies are built to withstand probabilities and work the best in any environment. Now, the next set of videos, we're going to get back on the table and we're going to review exactly the game of craps so that everybody is ready for next week's digital course release. And we're going to take this from a very low level and we're going to show you the odds. We're going to show you the math. We're going to show you how bubble craps works, how the roll to win table works, and how traditional craps work. And we're going to get you ready for the ultimate business strategy package next week, specific to the game of craps. We will see you on the next video, guys. And one other thing, if you have not registered for free as a student on casinoincomeacademy.com, you need to do that now. You are going to be getting our ongoing newsletter with a lot of stuff we don't show here on YouTube. And you're going to be getting access to our discount codes for all of the digital courses that we offer. So next week when AI Bubble Craps Blueprint comes out, you are not going to be paying what the public is paying. Okay? So if you want to get the discount code, and we'll talk more about that as well, the only thing you need to do is get enrolled, get started, click on any of those links at casinoincomeacademy.com if you haven't already done it, and make sure you're registered for the newsletter as a student, which is completely free, and you will have access to this incredible course that you're going to hear more about in the next few days. We will see you on the next video, guys. And I am so excited over the next few days and the release of AI Bubble Craps Blueprint Monday or Tuesday. Peace.